Good evening, Facebook family. It's I, Karen Wilkins from KarenWilkins.com, EmpowerYou.com, and MobileMarketingIncomeSystem.com. Together they form the world's first, the world's only, and the world's largest global comprehensive mobile marketing system designed to help entrepreneurs just like you grow your business exponentially, get more revenue, generate more exposure, and build a brand that's recognized globally. Well, Facebook is telling me they're going out, building my audience, and I always like to give them an opportunity to do what they do. So let's just give them a moment. In the meantime, I'm going to make certain I'm getting the reach that I'm supposed to get. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to go ahead and share this live session with some of your friends and followers. Fair? Okay. All right. So let's get started, shall we? You do the sharing, and I'll make certain I'm getting the reach. Okay, so we're almost there. There we go. Okay. All right, so it's Motivated Monday, and I'll tell you what. It's the beginning of spring. It's the last month of the first quarter, and we're almost at the end of it, right? The weather is horrible, and on the northeastern seaboard of the U.S., it's a threat of a blizzard that is like really a big one. There's supposed to be a big one coming. So I hope you guys aren't in the throes of it. I hope wherever you are, your cabinets are full, your cupboards are full, and you're staying warm and inside. But in the meantime, let's get this party rocking. Okay, so today I'm going to be discussing or taking a new look at taking a look at tools that you know you got to have, right? I'm taking a new look at it from a different perspective, from a different position, and I hope you follow along with me, because these are tools that every marketer, every entrepreneur, no matter whether you're just beginning or you've been in the business for a long time, doesn't matter whether you have a huge team or it's just you as a solopreneur, and it doesn't even matter whether you're a corporation or you're building a team from an MLM perspective. These are tools that you really need. They are pretty much seen as must-haves, but I bet you didn't look at it from this perspective. So the first tool that I want to discuss is an autoresponder. Most entrepreneurs know you need an autoresponder because that's the tool that is going to allow you to connect with your prospects, people who is interested in what you might have but haven't made a purchase yet, with your team members, and with your customers. You want to continue to market to them by way of an autoresponder because you write one email and now you can send out an email blast to many, right? Well, here's the new look. See, I bet most people don't realize when they first get an autoresponder that at first it might be free. It might even be a basic price like $9.99 or $29.99 or maybe $19.99 to get it started. But there are thresholds within the autoresponder that as you cross them, your price will go up. Now here's the catch, because a lot of people really don't know this, and this summer just passed, I got caught up in this, and I wanted to make certain everyone knew about it. But certain autoresponders that when you cross a threshold, let's say the threshold is 2,500. Okay, when you cross that threshold, your price is going to go up. It might go up $10. It might double. All right. However, if at some point along the way of building your list, and you got to have a list, so you're building a list. If at some point along the way of building your list, some of the people fall off, or you go in and you clean up your autoresponder list, and now you've reduced the amount from 2,500 to 2,000. That doesn't mean that the autoresponder, that company, is going to reduce your subscription fee. Okay, you're still going to pay that doubled amount unless you connect with them, you contact them and tell them, hey, wait a minute, what's going on? Why am I still paying whatever if indeed my subscribers is less than that threshold amount? So you want to keep your eye on it, because you do need to have an autoresponder. That's a great way to connect with people who say no. Like when you're out there prospecting and people say, no, not right now. Not ready. Nah, I want to think about it. Let me just see what you're doing first, and then I might join you. You know how that goes. You know that conversation. Well, if you have their email address, you can continue providing them with valuable content, information about your products and services in a way that provides them with a solution for whatever issue they may have it. And this is what you should be doing, instead of blasting them with, buy my product, buy my product, buy my product. Nobody want to be thrown up on or bullied into purchasing, right? So you should have an autoresponder. Well, you want to keep your eyes out for these issues, because autoresponders don't have to tell you that you're below the threshold, but we're not dropping the price. It's something that you have to be mindful of, and you need to be watching. But do you really have time? Like I didn't have time. I just happened to fall into that. And all of a sudden I was like, wait a minute. I cleaned up my email list. Why am I still paying this extra price? Okay. Now here's another way you might want to look at it. You're an entrepreneur. You own a business. Why not own your autoresponder? Why not purchase an autoresponder that you don't have to pay monthly fees for? No, you're not going to be blacklisted, and no, your price is not going to go up once you go over a list, and no, you don't have a limit. But you can own your own autoresponder and never have to pay another price again. Like, why aren't we looking at it in that way? We've been terrorized and bullied into thinking we have to have an autoresponder from one of these major companies. And I'm not going to call no names, but you know who they are. We've been bullied into thinking that we got to have their autoresponder, but when in actuality, we don't. We can do what's best for us. And if you're in the business, or if you have a business, why not start owning up your stuff? Like, just the same way where you're going to own up real estate, or you want to own up real estate, you should own up your tools. Your tools should be your tools with your own rules and regulations, instead of having these companies bully you into doing it their way. Now, the reason why I'm discussing this is because last week I decided to send my list a tool that I knew that they could use. I knew that they could be successful, right? And I sent it out to everyone on my list. I didn't hold back from anybody. And the autoresponder bounced all of my emails that went out. Not one, well, just one went out. The one that was sent to me. I received mine. But when I went to look to see who opened up the email, every last one of the emails that I sent out that had this tool in it bounced. Nobody received it. Now, here's the tool I was sending out. So if you can use this tool, you need to leave me a comment in the section below. But I sent them a tool to connect on their blog or on their website. You know, it's a plugin where they can actually see what keywords they can be ranking for on Google's front page so that they can write a keyword-rich blog post. See, I'm in a challenge right now, and I knew that everyone that is in this challenge with me could really use this tool. Plus, people who are on my list. So I sent everyone the tool, and not one person got it but me. So, that just really burnt me up. And it just made me think, hey, wait a minute. You know what? It's time to own your own autoresponder. Now, yes, sometimes you want to connect your autoresponder to other tools or other websites, and they won't accept privately owned autoresponders. So you might have to have one of those other autoresponders. But it's safe to say that you could have one of them, but you definitely need to own your own, so that should that ever happen to you where you want to send certain items through your email, you're not going to be bounced. Because not only does the autoresponder company bounce your email and determine what's deliverable and what's not, and what's spam and what's not, so does the third-party email like Gmail, Live, Outlook. So does those companies determine whether your email is going to go out. So you stand a chance of, yeah, your autoresponder is going to let it go through, but one of the other companies that is actually accessing, the actual service provider is stopping your emails before they can even get to the recipient. So you want to take a look at that. Now this is really, excuse me, major, because you're building your business and you want your people to know that you have value that you want to give to them. And you can't give them value if someone else is deciding what's valuable and what's not. Right? Okay, now I see some people came in the room, and I always like to acknowledge my people. So let me just put my glasses on so I can say, hey Teresa, how are you? Hi Paul. Thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I always love to see my peeps. I always like to acknowledge them. Thank you so much. Okay, so let me tell you about the next tool that's a must-have. You really should have this one, and you should own it. It's the autoresponder. The autoresponder bulk text message autoresponder. So you should have an email autoresponder that you own, and you should have a bulk SMS text message autoresponder that you should own. And here's why. Because your people, you should be marketing to your people where they are, right? Like that's one of the laws. Market to your people where they're at and take them from where they're at to where they need to be or where they want to be. Well, you got to find where they're at and go to where they're at in order for you to market to them where they're at. And an SMS bulk message autoresponder will market to your people on their phone. Because if you just take one moment and just look around wherever you're at, you'll know that most people are on their phones. As a matter of fact, you and I are probably all on a mobile device right now. I know I am, because in order for me to do a live, I have to be on a mobile device, unless I have one of those newfangled pieces of equipment, the OBS, the open source equipment, and they're kind of bulky, and you don't want to do that all the time. A mobile device, when doing a live, is clean, it's sleek, it's straight up marketing you and your mobile device, you and your computer, you and whatever. So with a live session, most of the time you want to use just a mobile device, because it's lightweight, it's easy, and it's not a whole bunch of other stuff in the way before you actually connect with your peeps. So a bulk SMS text message autoresponder will allow you to connect with your audience on their phone, where they're at. And you can connect a SMS platform or autoresponder with an email autoresponder. So you can take your people from that message straight to an email, or straight to a website, then to an email. You know what I'm saying? So now you're connecting your tools. Each one helps the other one, and you own them. Nobody can tell you how many messages to send out, how often to send them out, and who you can send them out to. When you start owning your tools, you now really own your business, and you can soar to heights yet unseen. Okay, now, if you're interested in finding out where to get an SMS bulk message autoresponder, I like to call them platforms, so you'll see I'm kind of like getting tight-tongued trying to say it to you. But if you're interested in having a bulk message autoresponder, just connect with me. See, a bulk message autoresponder for SMS text messages is a mobile device, and that's my lane. So I know where you can get one that you can own, and you won't have to ask anyone, can you send these messages to these people? You'll be able to do that right out the gate. Now, I also have access, well, we'll discuss that another time, because I just want to tell you about these tools that you need to take a look at them from a different perspective, and you'll understand you really need to own them. Now, the last tool that I want to talk about, because I don't want to make this a long, drawn-out session, but it's your blog. It's your website. Every marketer know that you should have a website or a blog where you're branding yourself. Now, even if you don't have one, most entrepreneurs know they should. And they think that by having one owned by their company, they're doing something. Now, look, you need to own your own. You can even connect the one from the company to the one that you own, so that it's not, maryjane.mlmcompany.com. It's not maryjane.blog.com/MLM company. It should be just maryjane.com, because people need to look at you as an entrepreneur that they want to be like. People want to be like people that own their life, that own their freedom, that own, their journey. You don't want to look like somebody that's following everyone else. You want to look like the leader. And how else can you look like the leader if you're going to have all kind of dots and slashes in your website title or website address, denoting that it belongs to someone else? Now, here's why I'm telling you that. Since I came to online marketing, I basically joined up with an entrepreneur education site that I love. I mean, they really teach you how to be an entrepreneur, how to own your lane, how to where to get the education from, and how to give it to others so that they can become very successful entrepreneurs. As a matter of fact, most of the successful entrepreneurs you see online have come through the doors of that company. Their motto is creating tomorrow's leaders today. Okay, so that should tell you a little bit of something about who they are and what they stand for. So this company decided that they were going to give us blogs because we should have our own home on the internet. We should own our home on the internet. And what better place than to say it's your home than to have a blog. So they made certain that all of the members had a blog that they own, right? This is what they told us. We were having blogs that we own, and we can do whatever we wanted with them, and we can discuss whatever we wanted. We can share whatever information we wanted to share with our audience. Okay? So now here, because I really got into it, blogging every day and really giving valuable content that I knew my audience would find as solutions to their issues. A year into owning or having my blog, the company decided they were no longer going to allow just everyone to have blog. You had to be at a certain position in order to have a blog, so that not everyone coming through the doors is going to have a blog. You got to come through the doors at a certain position. So since they made that change, they said everyone who had it would be grandfathered in. Okay, you following me? If you had it, you was grandfathered in to keeping it. You didn't have to make any adjustments. You didn't have to upgrade or downgrade. You didn't have to do anything. You was grandfathered in. Now, I don't know about you, but if you tell me I'm grandfathered in, that means to me that I'm never going to lose my slot. And if I get in a position to lose my slot, it would mean that I went a whole month without making certain that my account was updated, right? Okay, so I'm a year and a half in blogging, and the account that pays for my blog is paying for it at the same time every month. But at some point the time frames slip away from each other. They are not connected any longer, and I'm not thinking anything about it because it happened for over a year that it was, connecting with my account and making certain that my stuff was updated and I was good to go. Well, lo and behold, it wasn't. And I was 11 days out. And so what did that company do? But take my blog from me. So that if my members went to my blog to connect with my information, they saw things like, this blog is not available due to non-payment. How embarrassing is that? How embarrassing when I wasn't even a month out I wasn't even a month from non-payment. Just a few days, 2 weeks if that. And that was what took place. And I realized at that point, I didn't own that blog either. See, that blog was owned by them. No matter what they said or no matter how they spent it, that blog was owned by them. Even to the point that if you wanted to be able to put some real cool, nifty plugins on your website, you were not able to because they own that blog. So here's what I'm saying to you. No matter what company you're getting your blog from, no matter what company you're getting your blog from, if you're paying for hosting, if you're paying to go through their portal, if you're paying to for their support, that blog doesn't belong to you, because all you have to do is ask yourself this question: if I am not able to make the payment 1 month, or if I don't make the payment on time and within their time frames, then what will happen to my blog? And if you respond with, they're going to shut me down, they're going to close the door, they're going to stop me from being able to access my videos or my lead magnets, then you don't own that blog, and you need to get yourself in a position where you own your blog, because your blog is your home on the internet. If you wanted to invite somebody over to your house, you would have to at least be paying rent in order for you to be able to invite somebody to your house. But try not paying rent. How long will you be able to invite anyone to your house? So for that matter, you need to own it, because when you have a mortgage, you still don't own it. The bank own it. So you need to get in a position where you own your stuff, where nobody can tell you what to do with what it is you're marketing. Okay, so even with your blog, you should not have to pay every single month to host, to have support, not even for your domain name. You can get in a position where you can have your own blog, your own website, no fees, and nobody can take it away from you. Nobody can shut you down. Nobody can say, hey, you're 14 days late, or you're 23 days late, and now you're no longer grandfathered in. You're just a regular visitor. Just want to shut your stuff down, no matter how long you've been with them. That's not right. I don't care what nobody says, and I love this company, but that's not right. You don't do that to people who... I hadn't even gone a whole month. But anyway, that's a moot point right now, because what I did was I snatched my stuff from them, and now I own my blog. I own my blog, and nobody can shut down my blog. They can't take it away. And I even left them my blogs, because I still got copies of them, and I got my videos. I don't have to, you got to get to a point. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, you're going to have to own you. You don't need permission. This morning I listened to a call by Stephen Rachel. I love this guy. He's a top earner in the industry, and he started off the call this morning with saying, you don't need to ask for permission. And I'm saying the same thing right here, right now. You don't have to ask for permission. You need to own your stuff. And your stuff that you must own is an autoresponder, an email autoresponder, a text message autoresponder, because you don't want to have to text everybody at one time and everybody see who's getting the text message. That's not being professional. You want to be able to text people, and thousands of people at one time, and they're thinking you're talking to them, just like you do with your email autoresponder. So don't, try to, devalue what it is you're doing. Own your stuff. You can let me tell you what I got. I got 4 websites, one price, domain name, support, and I don't have to pay for it anymore. It's now, I own it. And I know this is not going to last for forever, but if you want your own blog, if you want your own website, leave me a comment in the section below. I'm not going to beat this up any longer, and I may not even revisit this topic again, because I don't want to feel like I'm calling that community out. But that hurt me. That really did hurt me. It's like I didn't go that long without making payment. I hadn't even realized the payment wasn't made, because it comes out of an account. And going to the website is what shook me, because when I went, my video was down, and I had this big old, like a sign up there, shut down for non-payment. Like, what? Not me. Okay, so anyway, not you either. It doesn't have to happen to you ever, because you can own your stuff. So if you're interested in getting not one, but 4 websites, your domain name, your support, and hosting, this is big, and hosting, one price, and then it's forever. Connect with me. Just leave me a comment in the section below and I'll hook you up. Or you can just go to my business page, empoweryou.com, and Facebook took the dash out. So now it's just empoweryou.com. So that's empower and the letter u.com, all one word. And oh, that's the website. I'm sorry. You go to the Facebook page, that's Empower You. And I believe there's another one that's called Empower You. So you got to look for my face. Okay. I'm sorry. I just had to do that. But you can go over there, and on the left sidebar, you'll see Lifetime Hosting. Just click on that and you'll get more information. If you don't want to do that, then leave me a comment in the section below and I'll give you the link to where you can go to get more information. Okay, so, I hope this has been of value to you. Please don't let it be a lesson. Like, don't get into these problems where people are not sending your emails. You're sending off text messages and everybody knows who got it and who didn't. And you need to look professional. And you certainly want to own your website. So, again, I hope this was of value to you. If it was, leave me a comment in the section below. Like it, then share it with someone who can also get value from it, or get a website, or whatever it is you might want to share with other people. In the meantime, you know what I always say. If you have any questions, before I actually go, if you have any questions, leave it in the comment section below. And then I will respond to it, that way. I do appreciate you, Teresa and Paul, for coming out and joining me. I know others will come. I see that others have come and gone. But I want to just say thank you. I will be back on Wednesday evening, same time, same place. But until then, please stay safe. Okay, I see somebody just popped in there. Hi, Irma. How are you? Thank you. I do appreciate it. I do hope you got something out of it. I really do appreciate your comment. And again, if you want to find out where you can get this information from, just leave me a comment in the section below. I have no problem sharing this information with you. In the meantime, guys, I got to go. I don't want to take up anybody else's time. And so, happy Motivated Monday, and I will see you on Wednesday. Bye for now.